Hey guys, oh my gosh, I can't even begin to describe how frustrated I am. Um, anyway, we're just going to get down to it. I hope you can hear me. I hope this is going to work. But we are going to start with our sleep workshop. Um, sorry. Okay, a little frazzled. Um, all right, so today is all about sleeping, relaxing. We're going to do a little bit of breath work at the end. So I'm just going to kind of dive into it. And again, at the end, we're going to do like a 20-minute session from the Functional Nutrition Podcast. Robert, let me get this right, Robert Vanderheiden, he is the one that will be doing the guided breath work, which is awesome. Okay, here we go. So first I wanted to kind of get into how taking care of yourself can really impact how you take care of others. And I know this isn't directly related to sleep, but the amount of sleep that you get obviously can affect how you're acting the next day, how you're acting verbally, how you could come off to somebody else. All these things, just from lack of sleep, can make you kind of ornery and angry and cranky and all these things. So, not only do we want to take care of ourselves, but we probably want to take care of others. So, I want to do a little, activity where you're going to write down 3 things that you do to take care of yourself on a daily basis. Just 3. So, something that you do every single day. Go ahead and write that down. Mine would be I eat 3 healthy meals every day. I walk my dog every day. And I sleep. I sleep at least 7 hours a night. If I don't, oh my gosh, my next morning is just not okay. So if it was difficult for you to write down 3 things, I kind of want you to do a little like self-recon and in your own time, write down 1 or 2 more things that you will do on a daily basis, whether that's walking, moving, meditation, breath work, walking your dog. I just said walking. Cooking, making tea, sleeping, all these things. Just write them down, and it'll start to become a habit. And also, you're reducing that stress by putting something more parasympathetic in your life. So, what affects our sleep patterns, the way we live daily, how we can manage our stress, what we eat, what we drink or don't drink, all these things, your sleep hygiene, which I'm going to get into right now. So I have a list of these questions I'm going to read you, but I want you to think about all of these questions in relation to your bedroom. Kind of do like a tally, a check, whatever it is. If you answer yes, I want you to do a check. So, do you have a TV in your bedroom? Do you have candles with fragrances and chemicals in your bedroom? Do you have non-organic cotton or dirty sheets? Do you have blackout curtains? Do you hang out in your bedroom for other reasons than sex and sleep? Is your bedroom warm or hot in temperature? Do you use night lights? Is your bedroom messy and unorganized? And do you keep your phone charged in your bedroom? So if you answered yes to 1 to 3 of these, you're doing a pretty dang good job. Obviously, we can always improve, but for the most part, your sleep hygiene is pretty good. 4 to 6, you're definitely trying. This class will help you improve. And then 7 or more, you're in the right place. We're gonna get you sorted here. But I'm gonna go over all of these now. So, do you have a TV in your room? This blue light specifically in screen time inhibits our ability to produce melatonin. I'm going to get all into that later, but melatonin is our natural hormone, and this is what kind of bases our circadian rhythm, which is our sleep patterns. Fragrances, parabens, synthetic chemicals, they all can disrupt our hormone production. So if we have candles burning constantly, that's just getting into our fumes and then into our body. More stress is put on our body. We don't need that. Stress keeps us up, keeps us awake. We don't want to be in stress. So you could try something like essential oils. Make sure they're 100% pure, but again, they're not really regulated. So a lot of essential oils can say 100% pure, and really I think they're only like 10% essential oils, and then they have additives in there. So like doTERRA I know is great, Young Living is great. Those are two reputable sources. So if you have non-organic cotton sheets, you might want to think about changing. Cotton is one of the dirtiest crops out there, and if we, have our sheets or our towels are full of all these pesticides, and we are just laying in that for, sorry, Wendy just texted to do it live, and I can't. Sorry, I want to respond to her. Okay. So, skin's our largest organ, and if we're laying in dirty sheets or non-organic cotton sheets, we are laying in that for 7 to 9, 8 hours a day, every day. So just keep that in mind. They are going to be a little bit more expensive, but our skin, we absorb everything. Whatever's on our skin, it goes straight into the bloodstream. It is so easily absorbed. Blackout curtains, great for falling asleep, horrible for waking up. I do not recommend them. It's hard because, that blackout will help produce the melatonin to make you fall asleep at night, but it won't help you wake up. And it's kind of a touchy one. So you always want to associate your bedroom with sex and sleep. Nothing more, nothing less. You want to keep your room at a cool temperature. So your circadian rhythm is kind of based on the temperature when you're sleeping. And higher temperatures, we're usually more awake, alert. When our body temperature is a little lower, we are more kind of calm, a little bit more drowsy, so it might help you fall asleep. Night light, no, they're synthetic lights. That's going to alter the melatonin production. And then just creating a clean environment in your room is always good. Avoiding cell phone charging in your bedroom. I know I do this, and I keep my phone on the floor charged, and I have a tendency of laying in bed just texting or writing notes about what I have to do the next day, when in reality I could just be writing it down instead of looking at my phone. So how does blue light work? Blue light is one of the most harmful lights for our eyes, and we are exposed to it all day, every day. I think the average American gets 10 hours of blue light. I know I do, because my life surrounds it at work. Work for 9 hours, probably on there for 7.5 hours, doing assessments and everything, and then I come home, maybe turn on the TV, I start working on my other jobs and work and life, and that's all on the computer, so it's bad. But I'm gonna try and help you with that if you have the same problem. Okay, so every part of your eye is worth protecting, but the macula is part in the back, and it's probably the most sensitive part to blue light, and can be quickly damaged by blue light. So if this becomes damaged, obviously our vision can become blurred, colors can become different. You have all sorts of limited vision problems. And so the process of light is, and this is sunlight too, so it'll go through your cornea and hit the lens, but actually the sunlight doesn't, it stops. It doesn't actually make it through the lens, where blue light makes it through the lens and to the macula, and that's what gets damaged, and that's what you don't want to get damaged. The macula is what has two nutrients, lutein and zeaxanthin, and these basically are just good for protecting the eyes. And we don't make them, so we have to get them from outside sources. And these sources can be green leafy vegetables, any green vegetable or fruit, and then your yellow food, so like egg yolks, yellow cauliflower, I think there's yellow watermelon out there, things like that, yellow bell peppers. So just keep that in mind. And then you always want to eat these foods with fat for better absorption. But you guys, this is where the variety comes in. This is what I keep saying. we have to have variety because nobody should be sitting there thinking, okay, I'm eating something yellow and this is going to help my eyes, but in order for it to help my eyes, I have to eat fat. So I'm going to, I have to do that. Like, that's stress. Nobody should be thinking about that. So if you just think protein, healthy fat, and fiber with every meal, you're good to go. You are good to go. And that you can always add carbs in there too, but you always want those 3 things at each meal, at least. Can I protect my eyes solely with food? Yes. Eat up, buttercup. So all those foods I just said, the yellows, the greens, and then there's also a carotenoid antioxidant pigment that's red and orange, and that also does great things for protecting the eyes. I mean, you've heard like eat carrots, it protects your eyes. That's the orange. That is the orange carotenoid. So that'll help with oxidative stressors, with a healthy blood flow to the eyes, all those things. Colors. They're so good. They're full of nutrition and flavonoids and all these protective compounds. Can I protect my eyes with supplements? You know me, food first, always, but if you feel like you're overwhelmed with blue light, you don't have any protection, you're just getting hit with it left and right, sure, supplements are great. So I've written down some things that you want to look for in a supplement. Lycopene, again, the carotenoid are the building blocks for vitamin A, which is the protective compound in your eye. But lycopene is in the red and the orange, so watermelon, tomatoes, red bell peppers, watermelon, things like that. Lutein, and then zeaxanthin, trans or meso, those are good. And the lutein is so like if you were golfing and that little white ball, you can like see it in the clear blue sky, that's the lutein working. Or having a comeback from like a really bright headlight, like your eyes coming back from that's lutein. So, 2 other things are astaxanthin. This is actually clinically proven to help the blood flow to the eyes, which helps strengthen our ability to see, especially as we age and we have more of like a farsightedness. That is great. And then vitamin E is another carotenoid and antioxidant, which are always great. Yeah, so that's good. Be careful. Vitamin A, you don't really have to, it doesn't have to be required of what source it is on the label. So trans beta carotene can be written, but that's a synthetic form, and which can be absorbed by fat. So if you have too much absorption from the fat, it becomes toxic. That has been shown to lead to like serious respiratory issues and lung issues. So just be careful if you see something like that. But cis and beta carotene are okay. They're mixed carotenes. Anything of those words, safer without any known risks at this point. So some supplement options. Cannabiquin is a black cumin seed extract. And this is a powerful antioxidant that helps free us from those free radicals. So if you're ever, I know, like if you get so stressed that your stomach physically starts to hurt and you like put your hand on your belly, this can kind of help with a feeling of calm and help with digestion. And it's just eyes too, but it also has good effects on everything else. So lutein and zeaxanthin supplement. Sorry, I'm on the computer here. Supplement with 10 milligrams of lutein and 3 milligrams of zeaxanthin daily. FloraGlow, GLO, and Pure Encapsulations has a good lutein supplement that you could look into. I know I'm going to. I feel like my eyes are really just getting fuzzy these days, and I just recently got these glasses, but I'll go over those in a second. I'm going to go over them now. Okay, so blue light blockers, not everything has to be in a pill form. So these are dirty, but these are Pixel They're kind of more of the spendier side, but they also do have some on Amazon. I'm not sure how reliable they are because I always say cheaper doesn't mean better. Um, but these are Pixel and they're blue light blockers. They also have, and I have a code for you guys. It's not my code, but they're screen protectors. So you put them on your computer, you put them on your phone, and it's called EYE, Just, Just. And the code that you should be able to use, it should work, is spinach for breakfast. Spinach for, number 4, breakfast. And I think that gets you 15% off. So just something, I mean, hey, any saving works, right? Oh, and then I know recently I went to Warby Parker to get actual glasses, and they had asked if I wanted to get blue light blocking in my glasses. So if I hadn't already bought these, I would have paid for that because then I don't have to keep like switching like that. So it's just something to keep in mind, you guys. I highly recommend it because sometimes we can't always take a supplement, but we can't always wear our glasses in front of the TV, in front of the screen, etc. All right, so I'm going to get into stress and sleep now. As I said before, a lot of things can affect our sleep, and when our sleep is affected, our cortisol increases. And remember, our cortisol is our stress hormone. That release increases our blood sugar. And our blood sugar, when that's high or dysfunctional, leads to inflammation. And inflammation is the driver of all diseases. Guys, I swear, I have said that like 6 times, literally more than 6, because I've said it at least every class. But it is so true. Blood sugar and cortisol. Just so, and then when we have a hormonal imbalance from all of this stress, it can lead to adrenal fatigue. Your adrenals can get out of whack. Too much stress causes our body to eventually just kind of shut down. Our hormones will kind of slow down, stop working as well as they once did because they need a break. They need a break from all the stress. So I want you to write down 3 things that are causing you stress in your life, whether that's emotionally, physically, or mentally, and that may be affecting your sleep quality. So you can go ahead and write those down and then kind of recognize like, hey, this is something that, whether it's traffic, I don't know. I'm like drawing a blank right now, but whatever it is, just write it down. You're not, you feel you're not eating enough, you're eating out too much, whatever it is, just write it down and just kind of reflect. So now I'm going to get into the hours of sleep. So less than 6 hours, you start to create health complications. That's when that cortisol starts rising, and that's when the blood sugar starts rising. If you are sleeping less than 5 hours a night, I know it's studied to show that women are more prone to this, but in people I see it in more men. Sometimes men feel like they just don't need sleep, like they have they're good to go. And that could be more of a genetic thing. We as women, I feel, do work very hard. So maybe our bodies are just like, hey, I need more sleep. But yes, we need more sleep, but we may not be getting it because of all these other complications going on. So again, all this inflammation can lead to diabetes, autoimmunity, leaky gut. That blood sugar rising opens up those tight junctions, remember, and all of that just goes straight into the blood, and not in a good way. Okay, so I'm going to read you a couple studies because I thought these were really interesting, and I just kind of wanted you to understand how important sleep is just by these studies. So 21 to 24% increased risk of heart attack the day after spring forward time change. So when we lose an hour of sleep, studies have shown that there is a 21 to 24% increased risk of heart attacks the day after. That's crazy. So a study on high school teens was done, and it showed a 72% lower car accident risk in teens when school started an hour later, and they got to sleep a little longer. 72. Wow, that's crazy. Sorry, that's my dog. Um, Increased risk of weight gain, obesity for those on night shift, and usually like nurses. I'm going to say that's like a known one. They actually can get hazard pay because it can disrupt their circadian rhythm so much. That's crazy. An increase of 300 calories a day after sleeping or after less than 6 hours of sleep, along with a 30% increased risk of catching a cold. The lack of sleep with the increased cortisol directly affects your gut. And your gut is where your immunity lies. So you would be more prone to um, get a cold. And my last one is if you are getting less than 5 hours of sleep, it has been shown to have a 50% higher risk of obesity with an increased level of your hunger hormones and a decreased level of your appetite suppressing hormone leptin. Increased cravings of salty and sweet, and you are 4 times the risk of catching a cold. Oh, it's crazy. So the real thing here is stress management. How can we support our stress during this time? That's the main thing that I want to drive home, and I keep driving it home. And just bringing that parasympathetic level to life and the sympathetic down makes all the difference in just everyday living. And all of these diseases can stem from a high cortisol, high blood sugar, high inflammation. So adaptogens, these are herbs that work synergistically with food and the impact it has on stress and stress in the body. So we have like ashwagandha, schisandra berry, goji berry, turmeric, astragalus, cordyceps. Like those are the main ones that really just, if you are super stressed and you feel like you're doing all the things, work on managing the stress first physically, and then you can start adding these adaptogens in. And then remember, you can't just like throw adaptogens at a stressful lifestyle. You have to do the work first, and then you can add the supplements in. It's just kind of like food. So with ashwagandha, this one specifically can reduce perceived stress, oxidative stress, reduces serum cortisol, and high blood pressure. So that's a really good one. 125 milligrams is optimal. L-theanine, this promotes relaxation without the drowsiness. So if you're someone who gets like really anxious and just like has a lot of energy and you just need to calm down, this might be something for you. 200 milligrams is optimal. But remember, restoring the body, getting back to the basics, lesson 1 of this whole program, that's what you want to do. Go back to the basics and then work on your detoxification. Kind of everything that I've done has been in order. But you got this. I know you do. So the gold standard of sleep, 7 to 8 hours, guys. 7 to 8. I mean, it sounds hard, and it probably is hard for a lot of us, but that's why I'm walking you through this program and this course specifically. So you want 1 to 2 of those hours to be in REM sleep. That's your deep sleep. But I will say that the time that you sleep, it helps to get you into cycles, but it's not the end-all be-all. What helps us feel energized and kind of restores everything is how many cycles you go through of REM and non-REM and REM and non-REM and then wake. So how many cycles, that's what you want. Oh, this is a good one. But if you're sleeping over 9 hours, that's not good. That actually raises your inflammatory markers in your body, your inflammatory cytokines. So avoid that if you can. Over 9 hours, if it happens one time a month or whatever, like it's okay. But I'm saying if you're sleeping every single day, or if you are sleeping 7 to 9 hours, 7 to 8 hours a day, and you still wake up and you physically feel like you can't get out of bed, there is something wrong. Your adrenals are out of whack, your hormones are out of whack, you still feel so tired throughout the day. We're having some issues, and we need to figure out those underlying issues. You can't just, you can't just throw supplements at it and expect everything to be okay. you need to fix what's going on. And that can be done through labs and testing and working with a dietitian and all of those things. So the key to getting into that REM sleep is minimizing your stress, 100%. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, including on the weekends, is probably one of the better things you could do for maintaining and balancing your circadian rhythm. Sleep is where our memories are made, so we love sleep. And we are so much more likable when we sleep. At least I know I am. So again, some more effects of what can alter your sleep. What are you eating right before bed? What are you drinking right before bed? Do you drink a lot of alcohol? Do you drink a lot of caffeine? When are you stopping your caffeine consumption? Are you exercising right before bed and bringing up that that sympathetic hormone, the stress hormone? And how much blue screen are you getting right before bed? So you could try reading before, writing before, drink non-caffeinated tea. That is great. Walking, if you feel like you need to exercise before bed, just walk. Maybe do some yoga. And then if you are, someone who likes to have a snack before bed, maybe try some carbs, because and they don't have to be bad. It could be like a sweet potato or like a banana or something. That will it'll provide ATP, which is energy, yes, but there are also carbohydrates, which can raise your blood sugar, and then it will slowly start to come down. So something to think about. All right, so if you're restless, you can't shut off your brain, you wake up a lot during the night, difficulty falling asleep, there are some supplements that may help you. Again, this is, probably talk to your doctor about this, or if you're working specifically with a dietitian. Calcium, magnesium, L-tryptophan, vitamin C, and B vitamins are huge. Magnesium is huge. Over 300 metabolic processes require magnesium, so a lot of us are very deficient, and it's not as prevalent in our soil as well. So it's very hard to get it, but you can get it from food, and I'll go over that a little bit later. So all of the supplements I just said can help the body convert tryptophan to serotonin and melatonin. Serotonin is your happy hormone in your brain. 80 to 90% of it is created in the gut again. So what you feed your gut basically depends on your happiness. No joke. It goes up to the brain. There's still some made in the brain, and then what goes to the brain goes to the gut. So that's that HPA axis right there. And then that is what makes melatonin. Sorry, I don't know why I just paused right there. I was trying to think of a word. It didn't work. It promotes relaxation and provides a stable mood, helps with, anxious feelings, antioxidants, cognitive health, all of those things. So vitamin C specifically is good for immune health, which again resides in our gut. And then, so I'll go over serotonin with you. Again, it's the happy hormone. I just kind of went over this. 80 to 90% of it is in your gut. So you don't want to be eating all those nasty chemicals and things that are going to kind of deter that serotonin from being made. And then low melatonin from chronic stress is going to impact your sleep, which is going to impact your digestion. So I think I went over this, but our sleep-wake cycle, when we wake up, we should have a burst of cortisol. And that cortisol over the day will start, oh my gosh, I'm backwards here, will start to decline, and our melatonin will start to increase. And when our melatonin spikes at night, when all the lights are off. This is why shutting off lights, not looking at screens for supposed to be 2 hours, but I would say an hour for the times. Shutting that off for an hour before bed can really help your body and your hormones kind of regulate and, again, help that circadian rhythm be natural. So melatonin is involved and dependent with regulating our food intake and digestion, and the gut actually contains over 400 times the amount of melatonin than the pineal gland, which is in the brain. That's not to say that it's not made in the brain, because it is, but 400 times in the gut. You guys, I keep saying why the gut is so important. It's crazy. I mean, it's crazy, but it's not crazy. Food is everything. Food is really everything. So I have a couple studies I wanted to read to you. There's a study done on rats on melatonin, and it showed that low doses of melatonin increase their transit time, which basically means less digestion and absorption. You eat something and it goes straight through you and into the toilet. That means likely you have leaky gut. Those tight junctions are open, and the food is literally just going straight through. Nothing is being kind of blocked and absorbed in that lining. There was a clinical trial that looked at melatonin and irritable bowel syndrome, and 3 milligrams of melatonin and a placebo was given, which is just probably like a sugar pill. And those given the 3 milligrams of melatonin had alleviated pain in the gut, better sleep, less depression, more life happiness, and less anxiety. So, kind of interesting. And there's studies out there too on how you could take a melatonin supplement compared to an anti-anxiety. Again, that's something that you need to go over with your doctor and do trials with, but it is out there, so you could bring that up if that's you. You can bring that up to your doctor and see what they have to say. All right, so tryptophan being the precursor to melatonin and serotonin, which, again, happiness and sleep. We need to break down, tryptophan's an amino acid, so we need to break down that amino acid. When we eat the food, so tryptophan's in turkey, when we eat the turkey, if we're not digesting that, if we're not breaking that down into the amino acid tryptophan, we can't use it, which means we can't sleep. So if we're having digestive issues, if we're on a acid blocker medication for a very long time, if we don't have enough hydrochloric acid in our stomach, if we don't have the correct digestive enzymes, we're not really going to be able to break down our proteins into amino acids to be used. So keep that in mind. Just because something's off, it's always something bigger and deeper than just like I'm not sleeping. Like I can't sleep. Okay, why? Why can't you sleep? Okay, let's see. I'm trying to get through so we can do our breath work session, and I think I'm doing pretty good on time. Again, I'm going a million miles an hour. I'm sorry, but I have so much to say always. Okay, so also, did you know that the low melatonin can also affect or play a role in migraines, specifically hormonal migraines? So if you're somebody who has your period in about a week before, you're getting all these crazy migraines, and it's becoming a monthly occurrence. Taking 0.5 to 3 milligrams of melatonin nightly and preventatively can actually reduce the frequency of these menstrual migraines, which I think is great. Some studies say it can outperform migraine medication, and it also doesn't have all those crazy side effects. You might have some crazy dreams. I know whenever I've taken it, I seem to have some very crazy dreams. But yeah, I think that's really about it. So you'd want to take this nightly throughout your luteal phase, which is right after ovulation, when the lining of your uterus becomes thicker and is actually preparing for a potential pregnancy. So that's when you would want to take this. And then it also works really well with vitamin B2, which is riboflavin, and you could do that at 200 milligrams twice a day with the melatonin together. And melatonin is also in food. This is something I just learned. I'm a dietitian. I don't know it all. I literally learn something, if not more than one thing, every single day. So melatonin sources are pistachios, mushrooms, tart cherries, roasted coffee beans, Merlot, and cab. That's not to say that you need to drink wine every single night, because remember, alcohol is a direct gut irritant. So if you're having gut issues and you're unable to produce the 400 times amount of melatonin in the gut, alcohol is probably not great. And then eating roasted coffee beans before bed, probably not great. But pistachios, Great. Mushrooms? Tart cherries? All right, so nutrients that are likely not being met due to chronic stress and poor nutrition. 96, 96% of Americans don't eat enough vitamin D. This is found in the sun specifically. Y'all, 15 minutes a day. I can't say anything because I was just deficient in vitamin D, but 15 minutes a day of limited clothes, so something like this, a bathing suit, shorts, like very limited clothes, and you just want to get like that pink, like that light pink color. That is going to help the body start producing vitamin D. Magnesium is the fourth abundant mineral in the body, and it's, like I said, linked to over 300 metabolic processes, nerves, tissue function, literally everything. So this is something that would be beneficial for just about everybody to supplement with. And you can also find this in spinach, almonds, peanut butter, peanuts, dark chocolate. I eat dark chocolate every night, and I love it. All right, omega-3s. This is great. This is your anti-inflammatory of your omegas. Omega-6 is your pro-inflammatory. But of your omega-3s, you have EPA, DHA, and ALA. Your EPA and your DHA are like your mind boosters. So, in preventing Alzheimer's, and for kids, you want kids to eat all these omega-3s because it helps with brain health and brain growth. Your ALA is found in things like walnuts and chia seeds and flax seeds, and they're great for some other reasons, like they have calcium and other nutrients in it, fiber, but they're not so great for they're not greatly absorbed or bioavailable to the body. So you want to stick to more of your sardines and your tunas and salmons to get those EPA and DHA. Cod liver oil, again, that's great. And then, so your polyunsaturated fats, these are the omega-6s, which you guys are good. They're not bad, but the reason that they're bad in our day and age is because we are eating so many packaged, processed, restaurant, heated oils, rancid oils, all of these pro-inflammatory polyunsaturated fats, that our ratio right now to O6s, which is your pro-inflammatory, you don't want that, we don't want inflammatory, is 16 to 1. I've seen 30 to 1, but I'm going to say more of the average is 16 to 1, with the 16 being the pro, the 1 being the anti-inflammatories, and you want to be more at a 3 to 1. So just keep that in mind. Just be mindful. And then when you're looking at supplements, you want your EPA and your DHA to add up to at least 500 milligrams. All right, so holy cow, that was a lot. I am going to kind of move over to the breathwork portion of this. And the reason I'm doing this is because this is something I just learned about, but it is just so, allowing yourself to do breath work and bring that body down to a parasympathetic state. This is you literally are in tune with your body. You can feel tingling happen. You can physically feel your parasympathetic hormone there. And everything else just kind of nothing else exists. So I really wanted to show you guys this. And again, this is from the Functional Nutrition Podcast. I think it's episode 96 with Robert Vander Heiden. He is great. You can get him on, he's on Instagram as well. And so with breath work, holding your breath is a vasodilator. It increases the transport of oxygen to the brain. If you're feeling foggy or lack of focus, this is something you could do. There's different types though. I think he does the Wim Hof method, but there's some for getting ready for the day, and then there's some for taking you down for sleep. So I'm gonna play this for you now, and go from there.
Okay, guys. So first off, we're going to go over some things to know, kind of parameters of practice. So what we're going to do today is we are going to do 3 rounds of the Wim Hof method. This is my go-to method. It's a great introduction for kind of longevity, mental health, physical health. And what we're going to do is this. We're going to take 30 to 40 breaths. We're going to hold our breath at the bottom of the breath, which I'll explain in a moment, for a set duration of time that I give you. And then we're going to inhale through the nose, and we're going to rinse and repeat that for 3 rounds. Now, that being said, a couple things. This is not a practice that you do in traffic, operating heavy machinery, near water. This is a practice you do in your safe space, at home, in your car when it's turned off. This is a practice that you use to kind of transition or set the tone for the day. Now, that being said, there's things that we need to watch out for. When practicing breath work, especially this type of breath work, there's going to be feelings that you may or may not have felt in the past. So one of those is a tingling or a numbness, or I call it a vibration. You'll feel it around your nasal passageway, your cheeks, your chest, your extremities, and that is 100% normal, right? That's just the uptick in oxygen going around your circulatory system, so your peripherals you'll definitely feel. Now, if it gets too pronounced, as in you're not comfortable, at the end of the day, this is just breath work, so just breathe. You can breathe slower. You can go back to your normal breathing pattern until you feel comfortable, and then jump back into the actual breathing session that we're doing. Now, secondly, breath work, it is vasodilating for the brain, but for our skin, it's vasoconstricting. All that means is you might feel cold. So practicing with sweats or having a warm blanket nearby would be great. Now, the things we want to avoid is we don't want to feel lightheaded or an onset of a headache. If you start to feel that, it's usually 2 common reasons. One is we're breathing chest dominant, which correlates to kind of a sympathetic hyperventilation state, so we don't want to do that. We want to finish in the chest, but we want to be belly breathing. So if you imagine you had a belt on, you want to start from that belt line, inflate your belly, diaphragm, middle chest, upper chest, and exhale. So you're starting from the waist, inflating all the way up to the
Oh my goodness, what is going on? You guys, I swear, I don't know what's going on with my internet and computer today. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm gonna try and take this upstairs and see what happens. Okay, so that's not working either. I am so sorry. So I am going to, wow, I should have done my video up here. This looks much nicer. But I am going to send you guys that podcast for you to listen to. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and this is the last of the program, and I am so sorry that I couldn't even get on to see you guys one last time. Okay, well, I will talk to you soon, and I will reach out to all of you with this video. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend.